I'm such a dummy. How have I not been doing this? I've been wasting time. How have I not been doing this? Hello everybody, Drew here, tip of the Mitt Flips, where every 100 subscribers, there's a giveaway. So if you're watching, make sure you subscribe so you have a chance to win. I have 10 orders going out today for about $150. So not a good average dollar per item, but whatever. It is what it is. 150 bucks, I'll take it. First thing up, on B1 for Tupperware 670 in the Harvest, I think is what it's called. I think that's Harvest. Let me get these out of the way so I don't break them. But they're the Tupperware sandwich containers. Fall harvesty colors right there. Perfect time of year to sell them. And let's see, that is $16.99 plus shipping. So that's cool. Most times Tupperware, I do free shipping. So that's great. It must have been over a pound. That's probably the only reason I would have not done free shipping. 11 without a box, so that's getting close. That still might end up going first class, so might save a couple bucks there. Next thing up on A5, wasn't sure if these would sell because there was a lot of them. 1947 Parker Brothers Touring, and I have two of them. I'm pretty sure this is the one that sold right there. I made mine the cheapest because, like I said, there was a lot of those listed, so I don't want to compete with time. I'd rather compete with price, because if not, then I gotta wait for other ones to sell before mine will sell. I'm not in that type of mode. And I did grab the right one. $9.99 free shipping. Next up, C1 Perfection. It's a speaker cable. C1. I'm guessing it's in this box right here. Yep, right here. And this is a very I don't know, odd item. Not that a speaker cable's odd, it's new. I've never heard of this brand before. But I had a nice older lady that used to live across the street from me, and she took a shine to me, I guess, let's say. Her husband had passed away. He was a musician. I'm a musician. She used to like listen to me while I'd practice. If I had a window open, she'd sit there with her windows open stuff. So she found reasons to come talk to me often. Very nice lady, but I'm a private person, so it's not my favorite thing. She brought this over one day and said, hey, I think you might like this, need this. It's not the cable I use. I'm very specific. I think most musicians are. So I didn't want to be rude and say, no, I'll never use that. So I just said, oh, thank you very much, and put it up for sale. And now, over a year later, it sells for $10 free shipping. After that, in the same spot, so vintage, solid brass, martial arts, karate type belt buckle. Right there. And when I got this, I got it with a bunch of other belt buckles. And just in general, if it's a solid brass belt buckle and it looks vintage, even if it's not, they will sell. And they'll sell for around $20. That one I got $11.99 free shipping. So either there was one already priced pretty low, the same, or something. But usually, just anyone, put in a lot of keywords, $19.99 free shipping, it'll sell eventually. After that, on C1, C's a popular shelf today, vintage set Frank Coma. Right here. Actually, that's great. They're right out in front. All right. There are Frank Coma mugs in like a cream white. Frank Coma stuff sells pretty good. I've sold quite a bit of it. And I got a weird message. Whoever bought those bought them at 10 p.m. last night. It's currently 2:30 p.m. approximately. They messaged me this morning at like 9 a.m. Hey, these haven't shipped yet. Is there something wrong? No, I'm at my coffee. I don't know if that's wrong. Their feedback was 0, so I just assumed they don't really know if eBay works or something. And it sounded like they'd ordered multiple things, and the other things had shipped, but the thing they ordered from me hadn't shipped yet. So I think maybe they're confused on like how eBay versus Amazon works, where Amazon, you order stuff, it comes from an Amazon holding center. And so things get packaged together, they get shipped immediately because they're open 24/7. So they weren't rude, they were just concerned. So I said, no, I'm not sure if you're confused on how, I even said that, how this works. You only ordered one thing from me. They will go out today. And they said, oh, thanks for getting back to me. But these right here, Frank Coma mugs, and $16.99 plus shipping. I'm guessing they live in Arizona or maybe Washington, Oregon area, because the shipping is astronomical. $20.40 shipping for these 2 mugs, which normally should cost somebody about $8 in shipping. So my guess is Arizona. That seems to be a very expensive place to ship from here. And then after that, not worth it, but I'd already bought it, so you got to sell it at that point. Swing Away Golf PlayStation 2. And it was at a garage sale. I got 4 or 5 games, and they were just mint. They were perfect. Looked like they'd never been played. So I picked through and got them, and I didn't check the prices. I think they were $1 a piece, but I got $5.84 free shipping. So I'm basically breaking even, if that at all. But the thing is, say I lose 10 cents on the whole deal after fees and all that, that's still better than losing the whole dollar that I paid for it, in my mind. When, maybe, because the counter to that would be like, oh, just put it in a garage sale and you'll get $2 for it. But I live in a town of 4,000 people. So I might get 15 to 30 people at a garage sale. So that's not really how that works in my area. And then next up, one of my favorites, I'd say it's one of my top 2 things to sell right now, Lego Star Wars Advent Calendar. Right back here, I think I'm down to, after this one, 2 of these. And then a lot of the Harry Potter ones. But I thought I'd figured out why these were so expensive. And this one sold for $43.99 plus shipping. And like I had said before, I have, at this point, every time one sells, I raise the price $1, and they have continued to sell. So now they're selling, the next one will sell for $44.99, and I only have, I think, 2 left. But I thought this was why these were selling for so much. But then I went to Walmart and was just doing some regular shopping, checking out the toy section, thinking about Christmas gifts for the kids. And I saw that they had this year's Lego Star Wars Advent Calendars. And these ones I paid $9 for, but original price, if I can get that to focus, was $29.97. The retail price of this year's Star Wars Advent Calendars, they are different, but they haven't changed. It's not like they added more Legos or anything. I think it was $42. So a $12 increase. And so when people pay $43.99 for this one, it's not as surprising to me anymore, because to go to Walmart and buy this year's, it's going to cost you over $40 anyway. And it's not as cool as this one. It just isn't. It doesn't have a Darth Vader in a Christmas sweater, so it's definitely not as cool. But if you out there aren't aware, inflation is a real thing, and it is getting extreme. And this is twofold. Inflation, yes. Inflation, because of the price of this, has gone up, but also because this is Chinese plastic, and shipping is, like I've discussed before, is very messed up. Supply chains from China are still very messed up. So that also comes into factor. This is the thing that started making me think about, because inflation for Lego, when they decide, hey, we're losing out a couple pennies here or there, they go, hey, Walmart, raise all of our prices. So the Walmart employees, they go out there, and they raise all the prices. Or they just say, hey, Walmart, we're going to start charging you more. You should probably raise your prices. So Walmart goes out there, changes all the tags, done. But for someone like me, who sells things online through eBay, I can't just all of a sudden decide that because of inflation, that for this Corning thing, I deserve an extra 12%, because there's also another 200 of them listed that aren't going to increase their price. So inflation is not going to stop, but it's going to take, the stores will adjust immediately. But for eBay and even Amazon will adjust much, much quicker, because they have the way they do their costs. I don't know the exact details on that, but I know it's different. But for eBay in order for the inflation to hit and adjust, things just have to sell out, because when people list things, they list them by price comparison. So until the price of the goods that people are buying, which already for me, I've seen a lot of, Salvation Army, prices are way up. Goodwill, prices have been up for a while now. Even garage sales, people are a little more chintzy on what they're willing to let things go for. Not all the time, but somewhat. And so it's going to take, I wouldn't be surprised if it takes 5 years for eBay pricing to catch up, because it's not universal. It's so dispersed between so many sellers and people. When a new seller comes in, or even an old seller, they go, okay, how much are these currently selling for? Boom, there we go, that's my price. They don't go, well, how much are these selling for? Plus inflation, 12% on top of that, da 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 da. So just food for thought, something that I was thinking of. Have you noticed anything specific? Because meats and things, you know, of course you notice that quickly because you buy them all the time. But this is the first hard good where I was like, holy cow, that's an extra $12 in 1 year. Next up, I listed a bunch of these, not this specific one, but Lady Ping Rhapsody on C something. I know they're all in the same spot, so I didn't need to know. Right here, this was one of the better ones, $24.99 for that one. And these were all used. I listed, I think, 10 of them. In general, they were $19.99. That one was a little better, $24.99, and sold within a few days. Free shipping on that. Next up, 1959. I think it's Cache Lake. Where are we at? Right here. Cache Lake Country. Life in the North Woods. And that one, $13.99 free shipping. So that's pretty good for a book. And then last up, let me double check. Yeah, last up, The Dark Crystal on VHS. And there's a mighty cobweb up here that I need to get rid of. But the spider that belongs to that cobweb is a friend of mine. And I don't want to, you know, destroy his home, but I would like it not to be there. $6.99 free shipping for that. And this is about as easy a packing day as you got. Like, this is the most difficult thing, and that is in no way difficult. Did a lot of listing today already. I went to what I assume is the last garage sales for the season. I live in a cold climate area in Michigan, northern lower Michigan, northern lower peninsula. Actually, this is where I live. And I assume that garage sales last weekend were the last ones. If I want to travel, I could probably catch a couple more. But I found some pretty good stuff, and I just wanted to get it listed right away. But the only one I really want to point out is this one right here. This is, I know so much more about bobbleheads today than I knew 2 days ago. This is what you call a toes up, baggy shirt, nodder. It's not a bobblehead, it's a nodder, N-O-D-D-E-R. Very weird word. And I think nodders predate bobbleheads. So I think nodder was a brand, so you probably can't use that, so then they changed to bobblehead. But this one, I couldn't find this exact one. I was thinking it was New Orleans Saints, but the Saints one looks different. And then the ones with the toes up, baggy shirt, green bottom are normally collegiate. So then I was like, maybe it's Purdue, but Purdue didn't have one. And so what I think I found out is that that one, and they're all made in Japan. I don't really want to bob it around too much because but patent pending Japan right there on the bottom. And that item right there, I think it's they made generic ones where they were just a couple colors and they didn't really have a team or anything. So I think that's what that one ends up being, because I could not tear a peek. I went to 2 different Facebook pages. One is a eBay resellers Facebook page, and that's where I got a lot of the information. And then they a couple people pointed me in the direction of a couple of websites that were very useful. Still couldn't find that exact one, but I found other information. And then also there was a Facebook page specifically for bobblehead enthusiasts, which, you know, to each their own, but not something it would creep me out to have this. You know, your house shakes a little bit from some wind and all of a sudden a whole room just starts bobbleheading around. But I paid 25 cents for that, and I got it listed for $300. Only because it's because there wasn't another one. So do I think someone's going to pay $300 for it? No. Do I think someone's going to pay me a lot of money for it? Yes, because they go for a lot of money. And some of them, the high end, you can get sales in the $1,000 range. The low end, it's the 50 to 100. But 50 to 100, I would still probably take that because I paid 25 cents. It has some damage. I think this is a repair, but it might just be a chip. But under here, because it almost feels ceramic, but I don't think it is. But it gets damaged on itself from bobbing around. But that was a great score. So I'm gonna, not like I just am gonna see those all the time anyways, but I definitely was excited about that. And that will bring us to our tip of the day. And I had a whole different tip of the day planned out. That one will just get bumped in the next video because I did something today that I went, I'm such a dummy. How have I not been doing this? I've been wasting time. How have I not been doing this? And what it was, I was doing some sourcing. I went to the Goodwill and I was looking up it's just a glass chalice. So I just typed in red glass chalice and I start scrolling through trying to find it. And I find the exact same one. And so instead of just putting that in my cart, closing my phone, and then moving on with my day, I went, because I list from my phone, I went sell similar, and then I just closed it out, which saves it as a draft. So now when I dig that item out of my car and go to list it, the listing is already started. I just have to open it, take the pictures, adjust a couple things, shipping or whatever I like to do or whatever you like to do, and it's done. So over the course of, all of the listings, I don't get all these things from places where I look them up, or all the items I sell, I don't have to look up, but I look up a lot of stuff. At a garage sale, I do a comparison pricing. At a Walmart or wherever, if I do some retail arbitrage, I scan a barcode. So all these times I've been doing this, I could have just been instantly sell similar, close the app, or put my phone away, and then when I get home, that listing is already generated for me to continue with. So I'd have to do some rough math, but that's, I would say, hours out of my year I could knock off by doing that every time I look up an item, find the one that I compare the price to, and just sell similar and go on with my day instead of closing it and then going back. And then especially with something like a random red chalice where I'm just typing in red chalice and frantically scrolling through 30, 50, 100 listings till I get to it. Why not? Instead of having to, what keywords did I punch in? How will I ever find that exact listing that I used at the Goodwill? I could just sell similar while I'm there. I was half tempted. I almost did it, but then I said, I don't want to. It didn't seem, I don't know. It turned out I didn't think it was a great idea, but I almost did the listing at the store because it was clean. I don't need to wash or anything. It looked good. I almost put it back on the shelf, took the pictures, and then it would have been listed, but I just thought I like my pictures to be uniform, same background, all that kind of stuff. It just looks better in your store, but I could have done it right there. But that's going to be all for this one. I hope you liked it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, go ahead and give it a thumbs down. Subscribe, share, and be good to each other.